42 million people should be worried about what could potentially happen. Now, I have a food stamp warning that I want to provide for you guys because of a recent event that happened just yesterday. So make sure you watch this entire video. Now, yesterday on Christmas Day, we saw that there were 4 attacks on substations. Well, actually 3 attacks on substations in the Tacoma, Washington area and 1 attack on one of the energy facilities. Now, this caused more than 20,000 homes and businesses to go without power for a decent amount of time. Now, if you want to see the full story on that, there will be a link down in the description box below. Make sure you go and check that out. But in all of this mess, I have a community member here that she sent me a comment this morning because she was actually in the middle of this. And her comment says this: I watch you every day and love how you present the news, but I know you haven't talked about this yet, so I wanted to bring it to your attention. Here in Tacoma, entire neighborhoods are without power. I couldn't make it to Texas this year to spend Christmas with my family, so I stayed put. Well, this was a terrible idea because I couldn't even leave my house the past few days because of the icy roads. Now, I don't drive, but I'm not going to walk on ice. But I was planning to go Christmas Day to go get some Christmas dinner at a corner store. They were open, fortunately, but without power, they couldn't take my EBT card, so I was unable to buy any food. The owner, luckily enough, is a saint and let me take my dinner for free. That was her comment. Now, I want to touch on this in just a second, but I also want to touch on one other thing. A lot of people have been asking me, here in the community to break up my content a little bit, to not just to talk about, the economy and, stuff that's happening out of Congress and President Biden and, other things going on, in different countries, finances, investments, and things like that. But they asked me to break it up. And I've tried to do that. I've tried to break it up into playlists and, all that. But it's becoming a little bit more difficult because there's more news that is coming out. So one of the things I wanted to do, and hopefully you guys will appreciate this, but I decided to add a secondary channel. So in this secondary channel, it is called Prepared, Not Scared. I will put a link to that channel down in the description box below. You can go and check it out. Go and subscribe because I will put videos on there every so often. I probably will not do 3 a day, even though I could. I will most likely do 1 a day. So make sure you go and watch that channel. Make sure you go and subscribe. And again, I will be putting stuff on there to just be prepared. Stuff on preparedness, emergency preparedness, stuff on weather, on different news, on things like food shortages and stuff like that. So if you have an interest in that and you want to know what's going on with those things, then make sure you go and subscribe to that channel. But let's get back to this comment. So I want to go and read this really quick. Okay, let's go and read this together and let's really dissect this. First, she says, I watch you every day. Love how you present the news. First off, thanks for that. But I know you haven't talked about this yet. Again, I did talk about this, but it's on the other channel, Prepared, Not Scared. So again, go check it out down in the comment section below, or on the description box below. Now, she says, here in Tacoma, entire neighborhoods are without power. This has been happening more and more. We saw this in North Carolina. We've seen this in Oregon, down in Texas. We're not seeing, attacks on the power grid per se. They're not shooting at the power grid, but what they are doing is people are overloading the grid. And so it's causing increased usage, which means there's rolling blackouts. And the reason why there's rolling blackouts is because there's a capacity that they can run at. So here's the thing. Once we hit capacity, what has to happen is the grid operators, instead of just seeing a complete blackout, what they have to do is they pretty much roll through it. And so certain neighborhoods will get a blackout for 30 minutes, and next neighborhood and next neighborhood and next one, so on and so forth, just to manage the grid. Again, it's very concerning, but that is kind of what we're seeing. We're also seeing this over on the East Coast as well, as they're still being hammered by snow, rain, and ice. So again, it is concerning. But she says she couldn't make it to Texas this year to spend Christmas with her family. A couple reasons why that could be. according to a lot of the comments that I've received and reports that I've read as well, is people haven't traveled this year for two main reasons. One, the weather. Two, the cost. It's just too expensive. To jump on an airplane and travel, it's just way too expensive. Now, she says that she couldn't leave her house for the past couple days because of icy roads. If you've seen any of the news reports, you've seen people in Seattle. Here in Seattle, Washington, it's interesting. And it's interesting because here we don't have the equipment. We don't have snow plows. We don't have a bunch. We have some. We don't have a bunch of snow plows going up and down the roads, putting de-icer on the roads, throwing sand to make it give you more traction as you're driving or walking. So that's creating a huge issue. But at the same time, other states, other cities are going through this as well. Seattle is not the only city that doesn't have the right equipment because they spend all their money on other things. So being that we've kind of gone through this for the past 2 or 3 years, we've seen extreme conditions. My guess is we're going to see our governor or the mayor actually put more money into our infrastructure and making sure we can actually drive in the snow. So we'll see what happens there. But I want to touch on one thing, that she couldn't use her EBT card. That's the concern. This is the main concern from this video, is you can't use your EBT card if there's no electricity. You can't. Okay? That's very concerning. If there's no electricity, no lights, no nothing, you go into a store and you cannot buy anything because you need cash. You need cold hard cash because that's all they can accept. And in some cases, and again, I went to a store, it was probably a few years back, but I went to a store, they didn't have power. I was just going to pay with cash anyway. The problem is they couldn't get their register open. They didn't have the key. Okay, the key was in a locked room that only opened with the touch of a keypad, which again is electric. You see the concern there? So luckily I only had a $5 bill. I think it came to a little bit over $5. I was able to take everything that I was going to buy, but I only paid with $5. Could give them a $20, but they wouldn't have given me any change. So that's why I paid with $5. But that's part of the issue. And this is what I've been saying, and this is what I talked about over in the other video over on the other channel, Prepared Not Scared, is experts recommend that you have at least 8 hours of water, food, and gasoline to power a generator. Obviously, you need to have a generator. But if you have that stuff, then you should be able to withstand any power outage if it's a short-term power outage. This means if you go without power for 4 to maybe 8 hours, you're able to survive that. It's not a big deal. You can eat, you can drink water. Hopefully it's not frozen. And then if you need to power a small room just to stay warm, or power a heater, you can do that, right? Perfectly fine. But again, that's part of the worry, is a lot of people aren't ready for this. And again, this is why I bring this up and bring up her comment. And I'm glad there was somebody, the owner of the store was there, so she could actually have a Christmas dinner. But this is something that not everybody is fortunate enough to go through, is they don't see this. So again, this is why I just wanted to bring this up, because I think this is extremely important. These are the times that we're kind of in. Now, I don't think 2023 will be as bad as 2022 as a whole. I think the next couple of months, 2 to 3 months, we're going to go January, February, potentially part of March, is going to be tough for a lot of people, for millions and millions of people, because of the weather, because of finances, right? I think those are going to be two big issues. So again, we will see what happens, but that is what we know at this time. I just want to provide you with this warning, because again, this would be an emergency if you cannot afford any food, because it's all on an EBT card. So again, that's what we got. Go and check out the other channel. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section below, or on that channel as well. But again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.